Happy Thursday, church. It is announcement day. And last week, we, at the end of the announcement, sent out a survey for you to kind of let us know what you were thinking, feeling, and how we were doing. And let me tell you, first off, the overwhelming response to it is probably the best we've ever had. And we really appreciate you guys taking the time to click that link and go and fill out the questions to help us know how to better serve and to know maybe some things we can do better. And so here are the results of those questions and answers that we got out. So the first question was, considering the circumstances around COVID-19, has Townsend Church been available to you when you reached out? Overwhelmingly, it was a yes. We had a couple that said we had not. And so we appreciate your honesty and your feedback that helps us kind of know where we're at and how we're doing. So out of 134 people that answered it, that's kind of the response that we got. Here are the numbers. There were 132 that said yes, we have been available, and a couple of you again that said nope, you weren't able to get us. So we appreciate that, and we apologize and are sorry that we weren't available to you. Hopefully you've been able to reach out to us now and get us. Here's the second question. Has your family drawn closer during this pandemic? Now that's a loaded question because some of you may be ready just to scatter. For some of you, this has been very therapeutic to be closer to your family. That's the bar graph. Those are the different types of response: a great deal, a lot, a moderate amount, a little, none at all. The numbers were actually about around the same. Most everybody fell in the moderate amount. That's where our 33% of our responses were. 28 said a great deal, 34 said a lot, 44 a moderate amount, 23 a little, 4 none at all. And so thanks for your honesty, but we are praying that that continues to increase as the family system is super duper important when it comes to our well-being. Here's the questions that you really want to know that we were really looking for as it pertains to how we're doing and things that are going on. And so we asked the question, if we have certain stipulations in being able to come back to church, how would you feel about that? And the question was, with a touchless type service, wearing masks, family style worship, meaning no children's services, required social distancing, if we were to reopen at any point in time, would you be willing to come back with those conditions? And a lot of you said you'd be there. Some of you said you'd think about it. A small amount of you said it's doubtful, and a couple of you said no way, not coming that way. The numbers were 62, I'll be there. 57, I think about it, so maybe not sure. 14 of you were probably not, and then a couple of you were like, no, I can't do that for one reason or another. So again, that helps us out a ton, and so thank you for your feedback. Now the next question was one that made me giggle. It reminded me of kind of when we did the survey about the house, of what we should do with the house. I was hoping it would really sway one way or the other, and it didn't, just like this one didn't. So the question was, would you prefer to wait to come back to church when we can go back to services that are held the way they were before the quarantine, with children's services without face masks and social distancing? And so it looks like it's pretty close to the same. And out of 133 people that answered, 61 of you said, yes, I would rather wait to come back until it's normal. And 72 of you said, no, I'm ready to come back now. So again, it's kind of divided down the middle. Now, for some of you, you're probably thinking, no, that means the higher percentage, we should absolutely come back. And I don't read it that way. I read it as, well, it's kind of still down the middle. So even if we open up, it's still going to be different. It's going to continue to be different. So now many of you may already know that Governor Carney gave us the green light to operate as a church. But operating as a church comes with some strings, comes with some stipulations. And so one of the stipulations that we were waiting to hear is, how many people could we allow back in? And they gave us a percentage. It's 30% of the stated capacity. And we estimate our stated capacity to be about 475. That means 475 seated people in our sanctuary we are allowed to have. And so 30% of that comes out to be about 142 and a half people. I don't know how we calculate the half person because that'd be weird. But so 142 people, 143 people we could have in our sanctuary. And so we are in the process of finalizing and finishing out our plans of how we are going to reopen and what that's going to look like. There are a ton of guidelines that we have to follow, and so it's not going to be the same. I hope that you know that. I hope that you know that even when we reopen right now, or very soon, that it's going to be different than the way you left it. And so many of you would love to be here this Sunday, and I would love to be here with you this Sunday, but that is too soon for us, too soon for all of us, and too soon for me. Have been trying to work under the idea of we want to do everything in excellence, and coming back Sunday, it would not be excellent. I would rather not just come back because we can. And so we are actually not going to jump as quick as some would like for us to jump, or as other churches may be jumping. We are going to take our time in this. And so the earliest that Townsend Church will reopen its doors for services will be June 7th. Now, I know many of you just took a big gasp and you may feel lots of emotions about that, but I want you to understand our reasoning and my reasoning behind that. I want to see how this plays out. I'm not fearful of outbreaks and all that, but I certainly do not want to be that church on the block where the outbreak happens. So I want to see how reopening plays out. What we are doing right now is absolutely working and being very effective in the goal of connection. We are connecting people to Jesus. We are connecting people to each other, albeit not how we want to be. And we are connecting people to themselves, of allowing them time to think about where they are in their walk. And so we're doing our connection the way that we want to do it. It's just different. And so I want to see how this plays out, because what we're doing right now works, and to jump too quickly could offset a lot of those things and mess some things up. So I'm choosing to wait in order to make sure that whatever we do on that June the 7th is done with excellence. That gives us 2 more weeks to iron out all the bugs of going live, of ironing out all the bugs of the entering and the exiting for when we are doing services. And it allows, hopefully, for a new thing by the governor, or a new mandate, or whatever guideline that he wants to throw out, that may increase the amount of people that we can come into our sanctuary, because that's going to be a difficult choice of who comes, who doesn't come, how we regulate all of that. There's a lot of things that go along with that. So I'm choosing to wait for those 2 reasons, but also for a third, because I believe that this is the best thing for us as Townsend Church to do. It's not the popular decision. It's not what other people are going to want to hear, but I believe for us to do things and to do them well and safely, this is the best decision. And so, with that said, we will be bringing more information to you of how church services will operate. We will continue the online church until June 7th, at which we will couple the online church with an inside service inside our sanctuary. So we will continue the video services as well as videoing the church inside Townsend Church as a normal service like we would any other service. So I'm excited about this. This has relieved a lot of pressure for me to finally have a target date to shoot for. So the earliest that we will be back in our building is June 7th. So please be praying about that. Be praying that some more guidelines will come out to lift some of these crazy things that are on us. But we're going to play by the rules by the best that we can, but we're going to have church. We're just going to wait a little bit longer than maybe everybody else is or wants to. So thank you for your overwhelming support. The comments at the end of this Survey Monkey were very helpful. It was an overwhelming response to your appreciation for how we're handling, your backing us of how we're handling it, and then some great constructive criticism that was a little hard to hear, but it was good for us to hear what you had to say. And so God bless you for taking the time to help us out. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your prayers for us as we navigate through uncharted waters of how to do church in this new way of life. So we look forward to seeing you virtually, but I long for the day in 2 weeks, hopefully, that we will be back face to face doing life together in Townsend Church. God bless you. Have a great day.